accessible to us by means of Jibreel. So do as much as you can in this month, reciting, listening, and learning Allah's book. Form your intention in this month to not let a single day go by for the rest of the year and for the rest of your life, inshallah, without gaining something of knowledge of Allah's book. And remember the two killers of knowledge that the scholars have told us about: pride and bashfulness. Do not allow pride or bashfulness to stop you from going wherever you must go, from doing whatever you must do, and reading whatever you must read. Get every bit of knowledge that you can acquire. Sit in circles wherever you can find them, and learn the Quran as the companions learned it. Maybe this needs a little translation for us to understand, because the Sahaba used to say, when we got 10 verses, we didn't go beyond them until we learned its recitation, its meaning, and its application. What did we just say? Its recitation is tajweed. So if you want to follow the way of the Sahaba, go to somewhere where you can learn tajweed, where you can learn the correct pronunciation. Subhanallah, this book is read for 1420 some years, and nobody has an accent. How can that be? Those who learn tajweed, they don't have an accent. If they recite Quran and you don't see their face, you cannot tell. They are from Africa, they are from India, they are from Arabia, they are from America, they are from Canada. You can't tell. There is nothing like this on the face of the earth. Nothing. This is another one of its signs. So its recitation, that's the circles of tajweed. Learn the rulings. Practice with one who can read it. Learn to read the way it must be read. Its meaning. What is its meaning? These are the circles of tafsir. Get to them. Get to them. It's not enough to read a translated version in English. You must go. The tafsir is done mainly by riwayah and secondarily by dirayah. Riwayah means that we rely on the narrations from the Prophet ﷺ and from the companions and the earliest generations to make clear what may not be clear just from the Arabic language itself. And so when the companion said we learned its recitation, you can still do that. That's learning tajweed. And when they said they learned its meaning, you can still do that. That means learning tafsir. And finally, when they said at-tatbiq, when they said al-amal, when we learned its application, what is that? That is fiqh. That is studying the Sharia. This is how you learn Quran. It's not just a recitation. It's not just some stories you can read in any language. It is those three things according to the program of the best generation. It's tilawatu, and that's tajweed, ma'nahu, and that's tafsir, and al-amal, and that's fiqh. This is the only way to perfect your adab and have respect to Allah and His book. If you hear or recite a Quranic verse that mentions Allah's mercy, ask Allah to provide for you from His bounties and His mercy. When you hear or recite a Quranic verse that contains a warning, ask Allah's protection from His punishment. Utter glorifications of Allah many times in your ruku' and make supplications in your sajda, your prostration, as a Muslim is nearest to Allah when he is in prostration. A person may supplicate Allah for himself, for his parents, his children, his relatives, his friends, and all those who are dear to him from among the Muslims. Prolong the qiyam after rising from ruku' and after rising from sitting, and make them equal to all other parts. This is something from the Sunnah many people don't know. That the standing between ruku' and prostration should be the length of every other position in the salah. Some people make it too short. The standing after the rising from ruku' is one of the stances of praising Allah. So utter many greetings, praises, and extolments in it. The sitting position that is between the two sajdas, another one some people shorten too much. It's a stance of supplicating Allah for forgiveness. So ask Allah's forgiveness at that time. You may start your qiyam, the optional night prayer, with 2 short rak'ahs, or even 1 single rak'ah of witr. Because shaitan ties 3 knots at the back of your head when you sleep. And he seals each of them, saying, you have a long night, so relax and sleep. If you wake up and remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, 1 knot is untied by saying shahada. If you make wudu, then another knot is untied.
In conclusion, we ask Allah that He brings you benefit through this lecture. For more information, you may contact us through the following address. The Islamic Propagation Office, Rabwa, P.O. Box 29465, Riyadh 11457, Saudi Arabia. Phone 445-4900. Also 491-60